Yes, Luke Harper is the Exalted One, but in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit more about everything leading up to the reveal. Guys, Matt Hardy, AEW, what's really going on? A lot of people said I was lying. A lot of people really didn't know what I was saying. We're going to talk about it all in this video. Make sure you stay tuned. Trust me, this is actually some really big news, and the future of Matt Hardy is also in question. So we're going to talk about it right here, right now on DPW.
Arrived at your destination.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Ango at Tango with Ango on Twitter and Instagram. If you guys want to follow me there, I usually just have a good time shooting the shit, doing a lot of fun stuff. Wrestling seems to be really popular right now, and obviously a lot of that is because, well, a lot of sports programs aren't on air. And thankfully, AEW and WWE are still providing us content even through the toughest of times. AEW Dynamite tonight was incredible, but mainly because we finally got the reveal, the Exalted One. A lot of people thought it was Matt Hardy, and I give a lot of props to Matt Hardy, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in just a few minutes. But we want to talk a little bit about the reveal because Brodie Lee has made his debut for All Elite Wrestling, and we all knew it was coming. We all knew he was going to AEW. Some people believed he wasn't going to be the Exalted One, but just deep down in my mind, I had a feeling Matt Hardy was playing games. And you know, honestly, great job to AEW because it threw people off a little bit. But I was able to know that when Brodie Lee came up on the screen wearing the hood, as you guys see in the thumbnail, I knew that was him from the moment it showed. And I loved it. I loved exactly how they did the reveal for AEW. I think it was really incredible. And I think, you know, one thing that a lot of people have to know with AEW is it's a very, very tough angle to pull off. There's a lot of heels in the company. There are a lot of groups in the company. The Dark Order didn't necessarily start off hot, and I think that's why this is so incredibly important for the company, that somebody was there to spice things up. And I think Brodie Lee making a debut, attacking SCU alongside Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, it just made a lot of sense. And Brodie Lee coming to AEW is very cool in the sense that it's not going to be him joining the Inner Circle. There was actually a lot of teases about that, and I just think AEW made the right call by having him become the Exalted One. Now, like I said, we are going to talk about Matt Hardy, and that is coming up in just a bit. But one thing I also want to make known, it sounds like from back-end stuff that's happening within the company, it sounds like Brodie Lee is joining the company on a 3-year deal. Now, that, of course, is speculation based on some of the other deals that AEW has made. But I think we all knew this was coming. I think we all knew it was coming, and thankfully, that's one of the big reasons why he probably signed to the company. Big TV deal, more creative freedom. And I really hope he's the saving piece to the Dark Order. I think at this point, we're going to see a little bit more of some creative freedom. And if you are a fan of Luke Harper, you should absolutely be a fan of Brodie Lee because he has the potential to do big things. WWE just didn't let him do that. But I kind of want to talk about AEW and what they did very special here within the storyline. They play off of social media very well. And I even tweeted earlier today that I have a strong feeling that AEW made it too obvious that Matt Hardy was the Exalted One, and that is the reason for why AEW decided to not actually go through with him. I think it was very clear from the day that Luke Harper requested his release to WWE. I think there was always plans for him to be revealed in AEW, and I think AEW did a really, really good job of playing off of internet rumors. We all saw what they did by planting Raven in the crowd on a recent episode of Dynamite. If you guys watch Being the Elite, they had some teases to Matt Hardy being the Exalted One. Matt Hardy obviously playing social media has been very, very well. But I think what it really comes down to, and I made a video about this a while ago, but it was about Matt Hardy turning down AEW for NXT. And I know a lot of people really did not believe that was the case. And, you know, even at times when I read those rumors and those reports that were posted online, I even questioned myself a little bit. I questioned some of those sources. But I think when you really, really think deeply about this, WWE and AEW are both in a situation where they can profit off of Matt Hardy. AEW obviously having the Bucks film with Matt Hardy kind of created it generated a lot of talk and a lot of buzz for the company. Regardless if they signed him or not, it had everybody thinking about Matt Hardy being the Exalted One. that AEW was genuinely able to draw in huge numbers, because obviously that generated a lot of impressions to their product, but it also allowed them to stump people and make them forget about the potential opportunity that Brodie Lee was going to be the Exalted One. So regardless if Matt Hardy actually signs with AEW, they've already been able to benefit off of Matt Hardy becoming a free agent. And I think a lot of times in this situation, people think that Matt Hardy has to go to AEW. And I'm not saying it's not going to happen. But I think what we're seeing right now with AEW is really, really impressive, because now Brodie Lee gets to turn things around in this situation. And I don't know if Matt Hardy doing that would have helped the company, honestly. I don't know if Matt Hardy being broken would have helped the Dark Order. It would have been cool, but I don't know if it would have helped. And I think it would be short-lived. And I think right now with Brodie Lee, there's a lot of things you could do long-term, and that's the most important part of this entire thing that's happening, quite honestly. Long-term booking. We don't know what's going to happen with AEW right now. The government is putting a lot of pressure on social gathering to be very, very limited. AEW did this entire show with an empty crowd. It is very interesting. But I do want to talk a little bit more about Matt Hardy, and I kind of want to get to a couple points. Matt Hardy very well could be going to WWE. He could very well be going to AEW. He very well could be going to Impact. I think whatever happens with Matt Hardy, we're not going to see it in the near future. I think this is going to be one of those situations where it's going to take a little bit of time until we see what happens with Matt Hardy. I think we're in a situation where Matt Hardy probably is going to NXT. And I think what he did was very smart, because, again, AEW was able to benefit off of his hard work on social media. It was able to bring some new eyes to AEW, which I think Matt Hardy did a great job of doing that. And obviously, as somebody who wants to see the business grow, we saw Matt Hardy do that. But I think it also made a lot of sense for Matt Hardy to throw off the internet wrestling community. It's been pretty much written on the wall that Matt Hardy was going to AEW. And now we finally got to the point where, at this point, we don't know what the hell is going on with Matt Hardy. And I think that's exactly what Free the Delete did. It threw people off. It got three things accomplished. One, it brought attention to AEW, which Matt Hardy's trying to move the business forward. It was a very good move. Number two, it helped build Matt Hardy's personal brand, and it's created excitement for wherever he signs. So if Matt Hardy goes to NWA, AEW, NXT, wherever it is, it's going to create a lot of hype. And for somebody who is a veteran, who may not be a top guy anymore, Matt Hardy being able to do that solely off of his creativity is very impressive. And the number three, the last thing that it accomplished, which I think was truly incredible, it allowed for him to become a truly independent star. We saw him basically control the narrative for AEW without being linked to a contract with AEW. We've seen him kind of change the narrative for WWE. There has been rumors that he is behind the hacking gimmick that we're seeing on WWE social media and television. So there are rumors that Matt Hardy is still linked to WWE, and WWE is allowing him to test the free agency because he's going to be able to do some independent shows. So it's not only created a lot of hype for AEW and wherever he signs, but it's also created some very, very interesting stuff for WWE. And if you're a fan of AEW, guys, I think this is the perfect time to be a fan of WWE, because right now, with so much uncertainty happening in pro wrestling, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, it is a really, really weird time going on in this world. I think both of these companies are going to have to do some very creative things to keep fans interested, and I think that's where they're going to succeed. Ultimately, I'm excited about Brodie Lee becoming the Exalted One, and no, I'm not shocked, but I'm impressed, and I think that is the one thing that people are going to look forward to now. Dark Order may have not been a hit before, but Brodie Lee coming to AEW, showing people that he could be a star, that's what people want to see, and it could very well get the Dark Order going. I really liked the jacket and everything that he did, and I just think the presentation was there, and it makes for some good television. So ultimately, I'm excited. I want to know how you guys feel, though. Obviously, I mentioned this before. There might be a lack of content. We don't really know what's going on. Lack of wrestling news, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it may be, though, we're going to try to keep you in tune with everything happening in pro wrestling at Tango with Ango on Twitter and Instagram. That's usually where I make more announcements. And guys, I will see you next time right here on youtube.com/Destination Pro Wrestling. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.
You have arrived at your destination.